When you're in darkness, it's not just darkness, meaning like you can't see anything and you don't know where you're going. It's like a blind person in the middle of the day. It's light out and you should be able to see, but they can't see. Well, you're in darkness. It's the reverse of that. You think you can see, but you're really in darkness. So you're making your own choices. Because the light is not physical light. The light is Yeshua, the truth, the Torah. That's the light. So when you're not in that light, you are in darkness. And when you're in darkness, you are making your own choices based on your own wisdom or lack thereof and your own desires. You are self-sovereign. He's saying, but now you've changed that whole positioning. You've shifted from self-sovereignty to submission to the authority of Elohim. And in that place, you now have learned to walk in light. And then there's more to it now that we're learning through the apostolic writings and the Messianic writings and through the Gospels, where we hear Messiah speak, that he wants us to do it not only mechanically exactly, but inside, with a right heart exactly. In other words, I want you to do it with the right attitude, with the right approach. Because many of you have experienced this with employees, coworkers, and children, spouses also, where you ask them to do something and they did it, but they were not doing it with the right attitude. And you go up to them and they're like, what? I did it. And you're like, yeah, but your attitude was terrible. You didn't want to do it. Your approach was all wrong. Your heart wasn't in it. And so then why even bother? We are to love all less by comparison to them, but once we already got that worked out, down here, spouse first. And they have to know it, because you have to show it, or they're not going to know it. If they're insecure, you have to ask yourself, what have I done to not provide them with that security? Could it be that when you're there, you're not there? You're there, but you're not there. Or when you were dating and trying to impress the other one, you did everything to have their full attention. And you gave them your full attention. This is especially for the men. Especially for the men. Your children should always think of you as the safest place on the planet, okay? And I know a lot of the ladies are just torn up because that wasn't the case in their lives. And I feel and empathize for that horrible sadness that you didn't have that they were maybe the most dangerous place in your life. But those of you that have the opportunity still as men with your children, daughters especially, okay? My daughter gets all the physical affection appropriately that she should get from the only person she should be getting it from, and it's the safest place in the world for her, okay? You ask her where the safest place is, Daddy. Who's safe? Daddy. Who's your hero? Daddy, okay? And you ladies who didn't have that, you know what it feels like to know you're not safe and not feel unsafe. We are going through this process with the two different loves, right? Vertical, us with the above, and us with each other. And it's all about wanting to spend more time with. Can we agree? We want to spend more time with Messiah. We want to spend more time with the Father. And what are we calling the getting together with them? We're calling it the wedding of the Lamb, the wedding ceremony, right? The wedding of the Lamb. So we think of this as a marriage, yes? That's what we're picturing, a marriage. Again, the idea being that I want to spend forever with you. And with the Father and the Son, that literally is what we're hoping for, is forever with you. When we get married, we're thinking forever, meaning until one of us or both of us die. And then hoping to spend that again into eternity. But we're thinking about first on the physical. And so it's all about wanting to spend time, but what do we do with that time? We wonder, what was Abba thinking when he gave us marriage? Maybe this whole thing wasn't such a good idea, because we are so bad at it. Yet it's our below relationship, preparing us for our above relationship. It's a model for the above. And yet we're so challenged. And it's very tough. But you know what's the same element in both places? You start desiring to spend more time with somebody, not the one you're supposed to spend time with. That's with him. Same thing with your spouse. Love is about time. I don't think I've ever said that before. Write it down. Okay? It is. If you love me, keep my commandments. Most of the commandments that we keep are taking the time to focus on him and appreciate him and do what he said. So that means you have to have an awareness of him. And then he gives us appointed times to meet with him, which is about time. He wants to spend forever with us. And then on the below, it's the same thing. He wants us to want to spend time with each other appropriately. It's not just marriage, as friends, as brothers, as sisters. Spend time. But doing things exactly how he would like you to do them. He doesn't want us going out, doing drugs, getting drunk, and doing all kinds of foolish things that we should not do that the world does. So that the world looks at us and says, oh, look, they're just like us. So why do we walk unwisely? It's a love problem. You love the thing you want to do more than you love doing it right. You crave, you desire, you want to fit in, you're having a great time. Actually, you're not, but you think you are. That's an illusion and delusion. And you know that reality? Yahweh made it so smart, so wise, that you will drink yourself into whatever stupor you drink yourself in, and you will feel appropriate afterwards. So you know it wasn't as fun as you thought it was. The problem is you don't feel that way till later. If you felt that way while you were doing it, you would stop. Some of you know what I'm talking about because you have an allergy or something like gluten or this or that, and if you had anything, you take that first bite and right away you have a reaction. Thing is, Yahweh lets you not have an immediate reaction to the things that are fun to you but inappropriate to do. Yahweh wants you to do some things you don't want to do. But you're going to do them anyway if you're going to be in that relationship, because it's required in that relationship to express love, to do the things the other one needs you to do. And then they will give you what you need. It works both ways. I've got all kinds of marriages on the brink of divorce because nobody's giving anybody what they need at all. So everybody's miserable. He's not getting what he needs, she's not getting what she needs. And they're not communicating it very well. Well, you never do. But did you tell him exactly what you need? Does he know what it looks like? You have to think about and have an awareness of the other person. Whether it's your children, your spouse, members of the congregation, we're part of a body becoming a family. Pay attention. Probably the most thing that goes wrong in marriages is that you're not paying attention. You're just not paying attention. You're missing so many of the things that are so subtle, but they're really not if you've been paying attention. And when the other person realizes you're not paying attention, guess what they don't feel? Loved.